All right, boys, sorry for the delay. Let's just dive into it today. No intro. I'm just going to give you all these plays at once. We're starting out here. I'm going to give you a few more plays out of these near and far formations, and we're going to dive into the good stuff. In my opinion, this formation is really OP. A lot of people don't have defenses for it, so it's something to really mix in strong until you move on to the other stuff. But we're in the near pro right here. Great formation. This is the flanker drive play, and what you want to do here is actually wheel route McCoy, streak hill. So wheel route R1, streak hill, and that's it. And what you can do here is motion McCoy out, and it stays on that wheel route. And this is going to tie in with the next 2 or 3 plays really nicely. So your first read is always going to be that post route. I just low passed that. He didn't get as much separation as I thought he would, but he still made the catch with that low pass. That's why that low pass is so deadly. Definitely mix it in, but just streak circle. Put McCoy on the wheel and then motion him out to the right. A lot of times, if you can buy some time here, he's gonna, and he got instant pressure, and I had square. So get through your progressions. Don't take, don't lock in on one receiver ever. Progressions here are gonna be probably square, X, and then R1. So let's just get through them here. But if you hit this, if you do have time, you can hit this R1 route on the out and up pretty much almost every time, because it's just so hard for that zone out there. They just don't play it well this year, and that's why all the pros are running these wheel routes so much to really beat these man defenses especially. So they will beat man in zone, but this post route to the left is absolutely deadly. You can pretty much hit that every time on the low pass, and the wheel out of the backfield with this motion is nice as well, because we're going to tie that same motion in with a few different plays before we move on to the other formations. Alright, boys, like I mentioned in the last video, we're just going to roll through these setups, and I'll get you gameplay of this whole scheme working in the next video. But this is the same formation. It's the Texas play, and we're going to do the same motion. Remove R1 to the right, and the only other 2 hot routes besides the motion is blocking triangle and slanting circle. So like I said, Texas play, block triangle, slant circle, do the same motion here. It's going to look just like the wheel route motion. It's actually going to start his route out just like the wheel route motion. He's going to go out, but he's going to come back in, so it'll confuse a user if he tries to user that wheel route. But what happens here is either one of these underneath routes is going to get wide open. Circle's always your first progression. I would check circle first on the quick hitting slant. Then I would go to X in the seams. A lot of times they'll waste the linebacker taking away circle, and X will slip out over the top just like this. And then if X is covered after you check circle, your third progression is going to be R1 coming behind, which is really nice. Kind of have double slants coming from the right. He's not going to expect R1 to come back, so he's going to be really tied up using circle and X, I find, in game. And a lot of times you can hit R1 on the comeback. And I should have bullet passed that to X much sooner than I did. But you saw how wide open he was. So that's this play, the Texas play. Let's move on to the next one. And just a real quick side note, because I know what everyone's thinking, just come out and send the dime 146 like everyone's going to do at you anyways. If you have someone that's really spamming the dime 146, something like this, this angle route actually works really good against this all-out blitz. So you can stay in the Texas play. I would just block triangle in this instance. If he's showing all-out blitz like this, put circle on a comeback and just make your reads between square and R1 on a quick hitter. If he's sending everybody, that angle route's really nice for 5 to 10. If he uses the right side, you can hit the slant route really easy. And then if you notice that he starts playing in coverage, if he starts playing in coverage, something like this, he'll probably do something like this, take the slant away with that, maybe use the right side here. If you notice he's not sending everybody, the inside zone, or what's it called, the halfback inside out of this formation is going to shred him once he starts playing people in coverage, because he doesn't have enough blitzers. You have a huge numbers advantage, and you can gash him up the middle. So this is something to note as a side note, because I know a lot of people like to stay in the dime 146, and this play will absolutely shred that as well. Next play out of this formation, let's just get back into a random defense here. We're going to do the PA strong flow. Really good play. Squares route's really unique. We're going to cancel the play action by blocking triangle. You can block them again. That gives you the straight back blocking animation, and we're going to streak X. Really good combination here. You can keep with the same motion. You can leave them on a flat. I like to slant them so you have something going to the left. So you can flood them to the right with square and circle, and then you have a quick hitter coming back to the left side. A lot of times square and R1 will suck the zone down in the middle, as you saw there, and or the user will come down for it, and you can hit X up the seam. That's why I like to take X's route and streak them. You got to motion R1 first, and then you can put him on a slant while he's in his motion, save some time, and that's it. Square was probably the read there, but I got anxious and I threw it to R1. So you can hit either. Both of those are great crossing routes, and then if those are both covered by zone, you can usually hit X up the seam. All right, boys, just 2 more plays out of these formations. This is the far tight slot now. We move to the far formation, and it's the tight slot in the far formations. What we're going to do here is streak square. This is the mesh play. We're going to wheel triangle. We're going to block R1. Move circle here to the right. We're going to use this same motion in the next play, but really easy progressions here. Just X, circle, low past that post. A lot of times you can hit that almost every time. He's probably going to have to user it or cross man him. But just streak square. This is the mesh play out of the far tight slots formation. Block R1, motion circle to the right, motion snap him just outside of X there. Make your reads. Take the drag if you got it. If not, you should have the post. If both the drag and the post are covered, most of the time it's man defense, and you should be able to hit a circle on the wheel route. So let's just do it one more time. We'll move to the next play. Motion circle to the right, streak square, wheel triangle, roll out if you need to, and hit that wheel as soon as he gets behind those zones or beats the man on the up of his out and up. Next up, we're going to do the bench switch play. Now we're going to streak X instead, and we're still going to wheel McCoy. We're going to block Sherman, and we're going to do the same motion. Now instead of the post, he's on a nice little in route. You can hit him quickly. A lot of times you can hit X in the seams. Square is still a money route, very unique wheel route. And then squares route's pretty, let's get out of this 3D again, but square route's absolutely money on this bench switch play because of how short it is. It kind of reminds me of the tight slots play because he's lined up so tight. That route's going to absolutely shred a lot of defenses. A lot of times he could even be covered and you could throw squares route open. But we're just wheeling triangle, blocking R1, doing the same motion to Hill. I love Hill on the little motion with the quick in route. You can hit that quickly a lot of times and rack it. And if he's using circle and X, like I said, you can usually beat the computer with squares route just by low passing it or even just holding down and left on the left stick and just leading him down and outside. And if all else fails, you will have the wheel route again. So great little combination. Mix this in, and you can mix that same motion in with just like this. You can kind of throw that open. You can mix the same motion in with some run plays out of here too, just to keep it fresh, keep them guessing. Halfback dives, money. You can do this little motion. Oh, wrong guy, but you can motion this and snap it right up the middle there and get some blocking. Instant sheds there, but that's not always going to happen in the real game. This is practice mode. But halfback dive, you can do the same motion with Hill. Kind of get him right outside, and you have just extra blocking on the right there to bounce it outside. All right, boys. Little two-play mini scheme out of the pistol doubles formation, starting with the halfback zone, and then make sure you have this PA zone shot play in your audibles. Then we'll move on to some single back stuff. But what I like to do is flip the play to the left here. You can do that as you're walking the line of scrimmage, so you don't give any tells. We're gonna motion Robinson to the left here, and I don't know. That's been flipping. Like if I'm zoomed out like that, it flips for some reason. I don't know if that's a practice mode glitch. But let's try not to be zoomed out. Halfback zone, flip it, and then just motion circle to the left. Yeah, it shouldn't flip, but you get some great blocking when you snap it right in the slot there. Obviously, Patriots defense is pretty money, and it's also practice mode, so keep that in mind. But a lot of times in game, you will get these blocks held, and I'm going to give you a great little max protect wheel route out of the PA zone shot that absolutely shreds. That's just a ridiculous shed. That's not going to happen in Draft Champions, I promise you that. But PA zone shot, block the running back twice, put X on that delay fade. Shout out to Skimbo, man. That delay fade has really been working for me. I didn't really utilize it before I saw him doing it, but it just gives you a max protect look with an opportunity to release him, which is just great, and especially because these all-out blitzes, a lot of times they're trying to disguise it, just like they're doing here actually, and you don't know if they're sending the blitz or dropping people in coverage, so it's nice to have that option on offense as well. But this plays absolutely money. I like to just put circle on an in route and motion him left, and this in route's really going to tie up the vert hook here, so it should give an opportunity to hit square, but the read there actually was going to be triangle. He was going to get wide. But read square first, and then you can kind of look at triangle and see if he's going to beat his route on the wheel, and then you always have the opportunity. I mean, circle is going to be your first read because he's on a short little out route, so if he's wide open, hit him, then check square, then circle. I messed that up, I'm trying to rush. But it's going to be circle, square, triangle, and then release X if you need it. But square's route's money, man. I love that post route on the outside receiver. You can low pass that all day. Block the running back twice to cancel the play action. Then you get that straight back blocking animation. Delay fade circle, out route, or in route circle. You motion left, turns into an out route. Read circle first, square second, and here's triangle's going to get open to the wheel. So great little route combination out of the pistol double, and we'll move on to some single back plays. Alright, we're going to get into the single back stuff. Real quick to start off the single back plays, I just want to let you know this halfback ace power out of the single back double north does a great job. It's a pull, you know, like a trap kind of play. It does a really good job against the 146. I know the 146 blitz does a pretty good job of stopping a lot of runs. You get a free shooter, especially against like shotgun inside zones. It absolutely destroys shotgun inside zone, and that's why this blitz is so effective. You know, it's deadly against the pass, and it's also stopping a lot of runs. This run out of the West Coast playbook absolutely shreds this run, especially if they're blitzing everybody. Kind of see how good the blocking is with this run against that blitz. So that's just something great to have in your bag if somebody's spamming the 146. So keep that in mind. All right, boys, I'm going to give you 2 pass plays out of this double Norse formation, and then we're going to wrap up part 2 just because I don't want to get going super long. But let me know in the next video if you want me to just finish part 3. You should have well over 20 plays now with setups. If you want me to finish part 3 and get that right up out, or if you want rather me just do a gameplay video of 1 and 2, kind of show you how these schemes are working in game. The curls drag play, and we're going to just slant triangle. We're going to block the running back. We're going to streak X here, and we're going to motion triangle to the right. We're going to use the same motion in the next play as well, but with this kind of mesh concept underneath, and then the post right over the middle. Kind of reminds me of the mesh post play. It kind of is like a mesh post play out of single back, which is great. So just slant triangle, block the running back, streak X to kind of clear out the safety there, so you have the post coming wide open underneath. But take one of these underneath routes if you got it, square or triangle. If those are both covered, a lot of times you have circle wide open on the post route. Just low pass that, click on, and possession. And then the last play is going to be this slot corner play, and it's kind of like the same concept, except for now you have X on the drag route. We're going to streak square and just block the running back. So X is already on a drag route in this play, not to confuse you. So the only 2 hot routes are streaking square and blocking the running back. Then we're going to motion hill, same motion to the right here. And if you snap it right outside of Kelsey, you got a nice high-low between X and triangle. But then a lot of times the zone gets sucked down there, and I should have hit triangle. But make your read between triangle and circle. Obviously, take the drag first if you got it. But your progressions are going to be X, triangle, circle. So right up the ladder there. Nice little triple levels concept coming from the right side, going left, and square just kind of clears out the safety there. So you do have this post in the middle of the field if you have time. If not, hit triangle earlier in the play. So one more time here, and we'll wrap it up. I appreciate your guys' patience, man. I really do appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop a like on the video if this scheme is helping you out, and look forward for the next one. But just streak square, block the running back, and just do the same motion here to hill. Snap it right outside of Kelsey. Take Kelsey if you got it. Watch triangle, and then if triangle's covered, you should have circle. It's going to be really hard for him to use both of those posts. It's kind of like a double post route. That's why I love this play. And one last thing to note on this slot corner play is you can wait for Hill to, especially if you have a speedster there at the triangle route position, you can wait for him to come open late. If the drag's not open, you could kind of wait, and if you don't want to take the post or if he's covered, you can wait, and triangle goes all the way to the other side of the field. A lot of times I let pass that up for some reason. I got greedy. But lead past that towards the sideline, and you can get a big gainer if you have time, if you can move in the pocket a little bit and get some blocking. Triangle's going to get wide open, kind of to the deep left part of the field a lot of the time. So I appreciate you watching, fellas. I hope this helped your Madden game. Enjoy the rest of your Madden season.